Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello and welcome to Apex Online Racing. It is time for Season 22 once again around the corner. And it's a preseason race, sprint qualifying today for the preseason race tomorrow at the Brazil track, the Brazilian Grand Prix for our preseason race. I am Benikage, absolutely wonderful to be with you. We are waiting for everyone to connect and join up, but we thank you for coming along today for this race as we are getting ready underway. Apologies for the stream quality. It'll be in standard def due to internet limitations at home, but we thought we'd bring this race to you nonetheless as opposed to not streaming it at all. So big thank you for joining us, and we hope to look forward to this fantastic race here in Brazil. It's a fantastic track, notoriously very bumpy, and maybe that'll cause a bit of turmoil as we head down to turn one. We'll have to see. Sprint qualifying, of course. The new format being trialed by Formula One. I looks like I have lost sound. Oh, beg my pardon. I'll get the sound up in 1 second. Apologies for that. There you go. You have sound now. And you should be good to go. The only thing I do need to do is get the track map up there for you. So they are going on the formation lap. Should be good to go. Should be good to go then. So Carnaco going to start on the pole for this lap, this formation lap. And then for the sprint race, it's Balak Sr. in the Ferrari who will take second place. Toby will be in third, Johan fourth. Go Tutor, the lobby leader here, fifth. Gaffa sixth. MTW is going to be in seventh. And then there's Jack at eighth. St. Fast ninth. Richie is going to be 10th. Darius 11th. Demetrio in 12th. And Fizzy, the wonderful Fizzy. We love Fizzy. He's going to be in 13th position for this race. So we are coming around to the final turn here. Let's leave it on broadcast for now. Apologies, this is my first race as well. So there's your tire strategy. This is a sprint race. It is set for 71 laps, but they are only going to do 23. As we get ready for this start of the Brazilian Grand Prix, the sprint qualifying. About to get underway. And there they go. Everybody set up. The lights are going out. 3 lights. And there's 5. And they are out. And they are underway here at Brazil for the sprint qualifying. Tudor gets a very good start. But so is Richie. He's trying to look on the inside there to turn 1. But Tudor's just a little bit quick. Now he's being pressured a little bit by third place. But he is going to pull off and retain second place. It looks like the McLaren has moved up into third place. So it is Richie who gets away quite well. And it is going to be, I'm sorry, it's Karnak who's in first place. He got away quite well. Tudor got away well. He's up one position also into 4th place, mind you. Gaffa is in 6th, as it's going to be down into turn 1 they go, as the Ferrari still being pressured here. As it'll be Balak under a lot of pressure. Toby in 3rd place is going to be the one who really is looking to take this position away. Tudor's under a lot of pressure actually from Johan though down there in 4th. For Tudor, I beg your pardon, Johan in 5th, and he's looking to get underway here up into 4th place because he's that gap close. 2nd lap, another lap away as Karnako submits the fastest lap off that first one on 1 minute 13.3. Nicely done. DRS is actually enabled now, and so maybe coming around towards that straight will be Gaffa's chance, as he is looking to get up into 5th place. Looks like Johan is somehow in 5th place. That's my question. Or what happened to Gaffa? I'm not quite sure. Side by side now, though, trying to fight off this Mercedes of Zane, who looks to go for the inside now. The inside line. Oh, and he shuts it off. Zane has spun. He is really taking a turn there. It looks like Gaffa came across him, and so he spun. He's going to be back down in 10th position. No, so much for the pit stop strategy. We are going to see, I'm wondering if we are going to see at least one pit stop as we move towards the later laps. These softs shouldn't last too long towards the bumpy track. A lot of high-speed corners will really do a number on these tires, but Karnako retains the lead. 109.525 is the fastest lap, as Balak now in 2nd place, Toby here in 3rd, as Tudor is very close behind. Johan in 5th place, Gaffa 6th, Richie 7th, Jack is 8th, Fizzy 9th. He's had a really good, and he's given Jack a bit of a bump there as he goes past, but I'll tell you what, Fizzy's had a really great start to the race. He was in 13th place. He is now up to 8th position as he goes flying into the 2nd sector, looking to make up time. And really a great start for him. Everybody up ahead of him really kind of as you were. Not a ton of lead changes, but it is going to be really good start to the race for Fizzy. Meanwhile, down in 12th position, you have MTW as 3-second time penalty has come across for Darius in 11th spot. So Karnako again going quickest, but there's Tudor actually to take the quickest lap so far, 109.3. Darius the only penalty, and MTW, the gap looks to have closed a bit. Meanwhile, Zane here in 10th position. He's looking at Jack, who doesn't want to give up any further positions. You can see already a second, 1.7 seconds ahead, or is Fizzymon of him, and Zane does go for the inside, and he does get the pass. That's a wonderful pass from Zane. Very hard to defend down here in turn 1 at Interlagos, and Zane showing exactly why with that move. Up in the 9th position now. He's got eyes on Fizzy, but Fizzy's gone way ahead, and now he's closed the gap as well towards Richie in front of him. Currently at just 0.4 of a second. He's looking to add to more positions here in this sprint qualifying race ahead of tomorrow's 100% race in Brazil. Toby, meanwhile, just 4.5 back of Balak, so the front still pretty tight. Tudor maybe having a look here towards turn 1, but he's in a bit of a DRS train right now. You can see there's the move on the inside. Toby trying to go for it, and he's pushed to the outside by Balak, and he will stay in 3rd position for now, but the fighting has allowed Tudor to get closer. Remember, that's a 4:10 gap, and now it's only 2.8 or 0.28, now 0.3. Tudor very close. Meanwhile, Toby, Balak having a look at the inside of him. It's very tight going down here into the start of Sector 2, and Toby having a look towards, maybe wants to have a look coming out of the 2nd sector onto that front straight. He's got to be careful, Tudor behind him. A nice 3-way battle here for 2nd place And we'll see if Ballack can get the pass done here. They're coming up towards this penultimate corner here, and that's where now Senior's got to be taking looking for the move to get back on Toby, who has taken second place off of him. Meanwhile, Tudor is going to be looking for the pass coming down the inside of turn one. Maybe is he going to go for the inside line? He's very close. He does go for the inside. Is he going to get the turn? Can he make it stick? No, he can't, as Ballack maintains the racing line and third place. But now coming back at him is Tudor, and he's going to go here down in towards the inside again. Can he make the move stick? This time he does. Third place for Tudor in the Alpine. He's made it stick. He's got to fight off the charge for Senior. Wants to come back at him going into the second sector, but it is going to be third place for Tudor. Nicely done. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the track, Fizzymon up on 7th place, and Richie trying to have a go back at him now. Wants to retain that position. Fizzy's having a blinder. He is up 6 positions so far. You can see Gaffa ahead of him. And MTW off that spin, by the way. Down 5 positions. He might be looking to get one back here in 12th place as well. He's got the Alfa Romeo in front of him, of Darius. And he's coming up towards the straight. Might be wanting to have a go. Meanwhile, also keeping an eye on Senior, who got very close to Tudor here, but cannot make it stick. Is he going to go? Oh, meanwhile, Darius is going to go actually in towards the inside. He's not going to be able to make it stick, though, to move a little bit too late. That's going to invite MTW to get very closer to it, but MTW can't make the most of this. Squabbling now towards the outside is going to be Darius. Can he make it? And he will. He's through into 10th position. Although the Aston Martin coming back at him, though, as they go into sector 2, but he just can't get past, and it is going to be the Alfa Romeo. Darius makes 10th work, and he is up into the points now, into 10th place. I mean, no points today. It is sprint qualifying, but it is preseason as well. No points in general, but what would be a points-paying position. Meanwhile, this battle between Richie and Fizzy for 7th position is only heating up. Both drivers making up a couple of positions since the start of the race. Fizzy making up quite a lot, actually, with 6. And Fizzy actually might be going in for a dive here on Gaffa coming down the front. So he got a really good run out of the last turn here, and it is DRS open. There's really nothing Gaffa could do, and Fizzy is just going to fly past, and Gaffa's going to slide back in to cut up him and Richie. He'll settle into 7th place. Meanwhile, Ballack has dropped back. There has been Tudor making 3rd place stick still in that Alpine. Ballack had a go at him, and you can see he's very close, but it is going to be 3rd place still for Tudor. It's inviting Johan into the fray, though. That Red Bull really loving the fact that these 2 drivers are fighting in front of him. You can see back to the leader, 19 seconds for Dimitru in 13th place. That's how spread out the field is. Fastest lap of 109.3. And Ballack might have another go here down into turn number 1. Is he going to be able to catch up on this Alpine? We'll see. He's very close. He's making a move towards the inside down into turn 1. Can he make it late? Yes, he can. It's going to be 3rd place back for Ballack. No DRS in between 3rd and 2nd. The interval's actually grown quite significantly to 2.4 seconds. That means there's nothing really that Tudor can do, as Ballack is going to take back the podium position here. Meanwhile, Johan getting very close to Tudor as well. It is a 3-way fight here, really, for 3rd position. Johan's been very patient here in the back in 5th place. He has not been able to find his opportunity yet. See the tires starting to age a little bit. 11, 12, 13 starting on the mediums. The leaders here starting on the softs. Fizzy, remember, starting in 13th. He started on the softs. He is now up to 6th position. As Johan just looking, Tudor might have another go. They might just swap back and forth these places here. might be a little bit too far gone. So we'll have to see. He's going to run out of track into turn 1 here. But he has gained a lot of time. You can see he pulls within 0.2 of a second. Meanwhile, a little bit back of the field, further back in the field, Gaffa holding on to 7th place. Richie trying to make up some ground on Gaffa. He's got to be careful because Fizzy is already way out in front. He's got a 3-second gap between him and Johan in 5th, and he's got to cut down. But he needs to get out of this DRS zone that Gaffa currently still is in. 0.5 of a second. Second sector been very strong for Fizzy, as he's really trying to add time between him and Gaffa, break up this DRS train, and maybe work on getting up into 5th position. This is sprint qualifying for the AOR 100% preseason race at Brazil tomorrow, 3 p.m. British or Eastern Standard, Eastern Daylight Time, I should say, 8 p.m. British summertime. We hope to join you for that as well. First, second, and third, quite comfortable here. And as you can see, Richie going to have a go here, coming down in towards the Gaffa. He cannot get by though. The gap to the Gaffa is just too large, but he's still hot on the heels. Gaffa trying to stay within range of Fizzy. Oh, back into 11th position. Down into turn 3. Jack might be wanting to make up a place here on Darius, who does have that 3-second time penalty. 23 laps for today's race. As Jack might be having a go here. He's getting awfully close to that Alfa Romeo. Darius has done well, but he is 5 seconds adrift of 9th place. And if Jack or even MTW behind him think that they are faster, they are going to want to get by Darius with that penalty. Trying to cut down the gap. They are running out of track. 5.5 seconds you can see now between Darius and Zane. As they go up into turn 1, DRS is enabled. Tudor, no, with a 3-second time penalty now for corner cutting. He's got the penalty for corner cutting. He's going to have a go into turn number 3, maybe. And no, he's just going to see his line. Darius, another 3-second time penalty for him. Now Jack might be having to go. He is looking for the in towards the outside down into turn 1. Beg your pardon on the switch of cameras. Oh, they get very close. He hasn't quite made it stick. He's going to have to take this down into turn 5, and he finally lands it. Darius, 6 seconds of penalties here. You see, 6 seconds. The gap back to Dimitru is 8.4, so he would come in currently in 12th position. Goat with that 3-second penalty would be about in 5th. But he's got Fizzy charging at him, who has gained up 7 positions, you can see. As Johan, meanwhile, back in 5th position here. Trying to get close. He's been behind Goat the whole time. He might want to have a go because he wants to stay close to Balak, who hasn't been able to break free of the Alpine. They have kept their distance between Fizzy and Johan in the back. Johan, a little bit of a sniff maybe going into sector 2. No move, nothing concrete just yet. He's got to stick it and keep it close to the Alpine. Richie now with a 3-second time penalty as well. And that'll land him in 9th place. Zane has got to love that. He's got to try and get past if he wants to have a go at the Gaffa. I think that if you're Zane, that's what you're looking at ultimately now with 13 laps into this race, is maybe trying to get past Richie to try and have a go at 7th position for tomorrow's race. Here is the fight now for 3rd and 4th. The DRS train is just too much for Johan. He just cannot get into a position to overtake Tudor. And so He will remain in 5th position for now. It is Zane, meanwhile, who's at the back of this other DRS train, awfully close to the rear of the other Alpine and Richie. Fizzy leading the way here, but Johan has put quite a bit of quite a gap between him and Fizzy, so Fizzy's just going to want to lead the front of this train into a comfortable 6th position. He'll be happy, really, at the end of the day, to have started in 13th and get up into 6th position. The pace, though, from Balak, Tudor, and Johan, too much to really catch up on, so Fizzy. It would be a daunting task to get up into the top 5 at this rate, especially with the DRS train that has been unbreakable between Tudor and Johan off the back of Senior, who's done well to defend his position. Karnaku's still at the front. Leads by 1.2 over Toby. Balak is in 3rd, 3 seconds adrift of the 2nd place McLaren. Tudor right behind Johan, right behind that. And looks like an inside dive here coming in from Richie, or an outside dive from Richie. Richie, they're fighting over 7th place, and it is Richie that maintains it, but with the 3-second time penalty, it won't be at the end of the standings. So well done from Richie to get into 7th place. Again, your field, Karnaku in the lead, Tobia 2.5 adrift, Balak is 2.7 back, Tudor in 4th, Johan 5th, Fizzy is 6th, Richie is in 7th, up 3 positions, Gaffa in 8th, Zane is in 9th. He's had a pretty quiet race, all things considered. Hasn't been pressed from behind. You can see 7.5 ahead of Darius. In 10th, who's in the Alfa Romeo. Jackie in the Aston Martin is down 3 into 11th, and FCW after the spin is in 5th position, or is in 12th position, down 5. Dimitru at the rear in 13th place. So Tudor down into turn 1. Close enough for the challenge on Senior, who is gaining. Remember that gap was 3 seconds. It is now 2.6. Can he cover the gap of 2.5, though, is the question. He's just above a second outside DRS zone. As Zane, in the meanwhile, is going on for a move down here into Sector 2, but Gaffa is not going to give him the space to even really attempt the overtaking, so we'll have to be going down into turn 1, where both drivers will have DRS. And another, beg your pardon, another 3-second time penalty for Darius. Another penalty, and he will be in 13th place in tomorrow's race. And so Zane going for the move, though. We'll see if he can do it. He's on the inside going down into turn 1. Can he land this? And he's pushed Richie awfully, or he's pushed Gaffa, beg your pardon, awfully wide there. And that is just what he needed to make the move to land it. And he's in 8th place here. Zane really the only other player outside of the leader not to move. Oh no, he spun! Zane has lost it in Sector 2. He's lost, you can see the right end plate on the rear wing is gone. That's so unfortunate for Zane. He gave it everything he had going down into the turn 1 and into turn 3. He's made it stick. And he's lost the rear. He's going to have to come in for the pit. This is him. He's diving into the pits for the new wing. Really unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, it is going to be an outside move for the Alpine. Kicking up a bit of the grass there. A little every inch of track to get around Senior, and he's up into 3rd again. A nice move from him. Zane Zane in the pits. Pit stop is complete. As he put the new front wing on, he's got the new front wing. So he's out of the pits with the new front wing. We'll see if he can make up any time. Meanwhile, Jack once again asking questions of Darius, who does have the 9-second time penalty. As they come around sector 2. Are they going to be able to, is the Aston Martin going to be able to make a move on Darius now is the question. See how old these tires are. Zane on the fresh rubber. As Jack maybe looking for a move here towards the outside, but the Alfa Romeo is just, that straight line speed from that Alfa Romeo is so fantastic. And it's held on to 9th position here. Darius borderline between 10th and 11th for where he would start. Here's Jack, finally making the move. He gets by on a run down to turn 3. And that is going to be the Aston Martin up in the 9th place. Nice move from Jackie. As we approach the final 4 laps of the sprint race. It's going to be Tudor in 3rd. He's got a 3-second time penalty, though, which would land him in 5th position currently. Oh, no, Toby's taking one. Oh, man, no, Toby has taken a 3-second time penalty. There's no need, there's no pressure from Toby. There's no pressure whatsoever. As back down the inside goes Darius. He's looking to make 9th place here, but oh, the Aston Martin, it pulls out ahead. As Jack is going to maintain 9th position here. DRS yet again, the Alfa Romeo swerving, and he can't get past. Zane actually lands the fastest lap, 108.7. Down in the 13th on those fresh softs. That's the fastest lap. That's the first 108 we've seen. As the challenge now for Richie, as we go on board a little bit here, is he's got to put the 3-second buffer between him and Kappa. He's 8th place is a minimum secure, but he's got 2 laps, and if he can find 7/10, he'll hold on to 7th place. As Ballack is back up into 3rd spot. As Tudor with the 3-second time penalty landed in 5th. The gap between Johan and Fizzy is still growing. 4.1 now. But the important thing is the gap between Toby and Ballack is back up to 3 seconds. Jackie Jack with another 3-second time penalty. He's corner cut. That's not good. That is not good. As MTW is actually going to make the pass elsewhere on the track up into 10th place. As we continue along with Ballack. Tudor now. Quite a bit of gap actually, 7/10. He's got to be careful. He'll get DRS this time. They go over the detection zone. The Gaffa with a 3-second time penalty. That's 3 seconds for him. It won't affect him though. Jack is 9 seconds back and with 6 seconds of penalties. So no worry for the Gaffa. As Goat Richie makes the move, stick into 6th place. Meanwhile, can this Alpine get the rundown in the 2nd DRS zone? No, it's just the gap is too far for the Alpine. Ballack comfortably into 3rd. He's going to have to work that middle sector again, try to put the gap between him and Johan to try and break this DRS. Quite a few penalties here for these drivers in the sprint race, giving it their all. Fizzy, meanwhile, is back down to 7th place. She has overtaken him. Not going to be too worried by Fizzy, though. He's guaranteed that 6th place off the 3-second time penalty from Goat Richie. As we're going to go with Fizzy. His tire's very, very worn. See, that's kind of why. As they come around for a final lap, lap 23. Who is going to make it? Karnaku leads the race. He's been comfortable at the front. No action for him whatsoever. Tudor now looking to gain on this Ferrari in that second DRS zone, but hasn't done so enough to challenge for 3rd place. Of course, Tudor hit the 3-second time penalty. But it is going to be Karnaku will take away the race win here. And he is going to start on pole for our Brazilian Grand Prix, our preseason race tomorrow ahead of AOR season 23. I beg your pardon, season 22. As Tudor's left, it'll be Karnaku coming across the line, and he is going to win the sprint race. Toby is 2nd. Balak is going to come across the line in 3rd. Johan has just made a pass in the end on Tudor, but again, it's going to be Tudor in 4th, Johan in 5th, Richie 6th, Fizzy 7th, Gaffa 8th, Tudor 9th, MTW is in 10th, Darius 11th, Dimitru 12th, and Zane 13th. Of course, penalties will be applied to tomorrow's race. But that is it for the sprint race. Karnaku, unchallenged, will go away as your sprint winner. Toby in 2nd place for the 3-second time penalty, but I believe the gap was big enough for Balak to still start in 3rd. And that's going to do it. So sprint race in the books. Sprint qualifying, I should say, in the books. Excellent job. And it'll be Karnaku with the Mercedes on pole tomorrow. Big race from him. Big race from Fizzy. If you gave out driver of the day for the sprint qualifying, you'd certainly give it to him, starting in 13th place and finishing up in 7th for tomorrow's race. Absolutely fantastic. And that'll be it from us. So big thanks to everybody that stopped by to watch. It was a pleasure to commentate for the very first time here for Apex Online Racing, and hope to do many, many more as we go into tomorrow's preseason race in Interlagos. It's 100%. It's the final tune-up ahead of season 22, which starts next weekend. We are hopeful that you would join us again tomorrow. That is it for me. We are going to have a bit of an interview, I believe. So let's go into the Discord, shall we? That's going to be the end of the session. And a fantastic race overall. But really well done by a lot of the drivers. Fizzy up 6 positions. Michael doing well to hold on to 3rd under a ton of pressure, mind you. And of course, Karnaku just comfortable at the front. So absolutely fantastic racing here in Brazil. So it's all a bit off the standings, but yeah, it is going to be. I think we're prepping for an interview here. I have to check with Fizzy here, but I took a screenshot for the penalties, so I'll be forward to race control. They will assess them after the fact, but yeah, fantastic stuff here today. So Let's check on that interview with Fizz. All right, gentlemen, actually both of you, it was a fantastic race. Really good sprint qualifying race. Tudor, you did very well. I believe finishing in, was it 4th position, I want to say?
Thank you. Yeah, 4th on track would be, but I got disconnected on the last lap. Would have been P5 anyway. I had the 3-second time penalty, and Johan behind me didn't. So yeah.
Let me actually mute the game. How about that? Actually, and then update that. We're still new at this, guys. It's okay. And then actually update the who we're speaking with. So we're speaking with Tudor and Fizzy. That's who we have here. And so, Tudor, you happy with 5th position overall ahead of tomorrow's race?
Yeah, of course. If I didn't have the penalty, could have even been P2. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fine. And it's a 100% race. 71 laps around Interlagos. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of time to make up positions. And 4 drivers ahead, yeah, you never know what's gonna happen.
So, really, talk to me about that battle that you kind of had overall with 3rd, with like Balak and whatnot. Like it just seemed first off, it seemed that his defense was very good, but it just seemed that like you weren't really able to get into 4th place for the longest time. It just felt like kind of, well, you were in the Alpine, I should say, but it looked like the Red Bull, or were you in the Red Bull? I can't.
No, I was in the Alpine.
Yes, so I was going to say, it looked like the Red Bull was constantly pressuring you, but it just never able to get past. So ahead of tomorrow, it looked like a lot of drivers actually who were stuck in that DRS train had trouble moving kind of amongst themselves, trying to, overtake, say, a car in front that's got DRS. Talk to me. How tough did you find it, trying to overtake drivers who also had DRS going down to turn 1 and then turn 3?
It was difficult. In the first few laps, I was just aiming to stay within DRS of top 3, and then just save the battery for later in the race. And after Toppy got past the Ferrari and he got into P2, he then just rumped away. I couldn't stay with him, and it turned into a battle for P3 with me, the Ferrari Balak, was it? And
Yes.
Johan. And then in the DRS train, after I got a 3-second time penalty, I knew it wasn't a battle to fight for. It wasn't. I should not have fought for position, because Fizzy in P5 at the moment, at that time, didn't have a 3-second time penalty. I had, so I was just trying to go as fast as I can behind the Ferrari, not to lose any time battling, because as soon as we would start fighting, I knew Fizzy would catch up fast, and I didn't want him anywhere close to this DRS train. And for the most of the race, I just stayed behind, saving the battery. Tried to make a move at the end for position on track, but I just couldn't stay ahead. The drainage of the battery was too much.
Right.
You weren't recovering too much on the course of the lap, so yeah.
Well, let me bring in Fizzy at this moment, actually, because I wanted to talk about the tires. Because Fizzy, you had a great sprint qualifying race, actually, starting in 13th and up in P6 at one point, but it just looked like you couldn't close the gap because the tires maybe had kind of fallen away from you there towards the end. How did they feel, and what do you think is the strategy for the tires going into tomorrow's race?
They felt pretty good. Yeah, it seemed like I just didn't have the pace in the second half of that. Like the last 12 laps, I was really struggling for consistency pace. Like I was doing like low 10s, which is, it's quick, but it wasn't quick enough to catch up. If anything, I found my main issue was keeping my battery, because I used a lot of it to get through on Richie and Gaffa, and then I had to keep burning a little bit onto the straights out of corners, and I think it just gave myself a little bit too much rear tire wear. Strategy for tomorrow, I'm not sure. I mean, I might start in the softs, but I also might go in the mediums as well, because at this point in the time, it's either option could work, because you can saw how powerful the DRS train is that if you can just kind of fight and just stay in that gap, you'll be able to be very, very quick. but at the same time, the guys who started on mediums dropped off a lot. So it's going to be interesting. The wear itself wasn't bad, but compared to other drivers, I just didn't have it today.
Well, don't be too harsh on yourself. You started 13th. You finished up at 7th place on track. I mean, that's certainly a performance to be proud of. You had a really good run at a lot of cars. So, always good when you make up that many positions. So, and of course, Brazil's quite a bumpy and crazy track. So, how much, just to end on it, how much do you think, and Fizzy, I'll start with you, but then I'll move into Tudor. How much do you think that makes up for maybe some craziness that we might see in turn one? We didn't really see it today, but is the bumpiness of the track really gonna, do you think, cause some craziness in tomorrow's race?
I want to say yes. I saw a couple guys struggle, especially through turn one. That's how I got a couple positions off the line. They're just two guys who just struggled with the curbs and went deep, or they got just caught out by just the track and how it's designed. And I was able to fully capitalize off of that. And I mean, I know for myself, there were a couple times where I almost lost the rear end and I had to save it. And it definitely will come into play, especially if you're in a DRS train, because it could put you way off. But at the same time, it could also help you if your rival does it, and you might be able to get lucky enough and break DRS. So it definitely is something that will come into play. And I think that now with this done and tomorrow, I think some drivers might be a little more cautious because it is the actual race. But at the same time, it is the actual race. So it's going to be interesting.
And Tudor, your thoughts on whether the kind of notorious bumpiness of Interlagos is going to cause some maybe upset the apple cart, we'll say, down the turn one that you can possibly take advantage of?
Yes, definitely. Like Fizzy said, turn one quite difficult on the opening lap, especially with so many cars around you. Uh, I'm gonna go as cautious as I can because, like I said earlier, it's a 71 lap race. You won't win the race in lap one. You won't lose it in lap one. So yeah. Plus, safety cars can happen. You can recover fast, recover time. So yeah. Uh, myself, I'm not gonna risk it into turn one, but I can see drivers that are towards the back, uh, taking more aggressive lines and trying to gain positions early on so they can stay with the DRS trains.
Well, yeah, definitely, and we'll see if that is the case. Hopefully, for your two gentlemen's case, they don't get too aggressive when they come towards you. But yeah, we will definitely see how it works out tomorrow. And thank you both for joining us, and congratulations on a good race and up a few positions, I believe, for both of y'all. So looking forward to tomorrow's race.
Thank you. Take care.
And that is Fizzy and Tudor. And that is going to do it from us. So thank you so much for watching. It's been fantastic to bring you this first race personally of my at least racing commentary career, not my commentary career in general, but it's been fantastic for AOR to have me on board, and big thanks to them. Big thanks to the sponsors as well, Elgato, I believe GT Omega as well, helping to bring this event to you, and we will join you 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time, and 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time tomorrow for the 100% Brazil race. It's the preseason race, our final tune-up ahead of the start of season 22 next weekend. That is it, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Benikage. We will see you tomorrow. Until then, take care.